You're human. Ain't nobody Superman. Don't nobody get it right every day. Ain't nobody strong every day. There's some days, yes, the Lord is yes, and then there's some days, Lord, Lord, I feel like staying up under the cover today. I feel like staying up under the covers today, Lord. What verse we on, y'all? Okay, read on. Yeah, you see, he speaks in the language of his time. Has been removed from me as a shepherd's tent. A shepherd's tent was a very there was the tents of the Bedouins that were kind of extravagant, well put together tents, even with a carpet flowing in the Bedouin's tent out in the desert. Then there was a shepherd's tent. There was a shepherd's tent that was just really really just a covering, just maybe about 4 poles or something, and then just something over. But because the shepherd knew that he wasn't going to be there very long. The better ones would many times stay in one place for months and sometimes years. But the shepherd's tent was a very temporary dwelling. And that's what Hezekiah is saying. He said, feel like what? Like the shepherds. Behold, the inhabitants of the, what verse we on? Yeah, 12. Mine age is departed and to be removed from me as a shepherd's tent. I have what? Like a weaver what? In other words, how many of y'all remember the old looms and stuff that they would use? In the Old Testament, it wasn't even that sophisticated. But at the end of the weaving, then there would always be the cutting off. In other words, saying, I've done enough with this garment. I'm at the end of this garment. And this is what Hezekiah is saying. He said, my life feel like the shepherds, feel like the weaver that have finished making the garment that they're making. And now they cut the cloth, they cut the yarn off because they finished now. Does that make sense? He said, I cut it off in my life. He will, what? He will do what? Cut me off with what? With pine and sickness. In other words, God gonna do this to me. He ain't gonna just let me die. He gonna let me die hurting. Pine and sickness. Read from day even to night with no rest. Read on. With our enemy reckon. Read on. Read on. You know why he talks about the lion? Because the lion has such jaw pressure that the lion can break the bones of a big giraffe, can bite through them. So that's the way he speaks of the way God is breaking through, breaking his bones or cutting off his life. It said, from day even to night will thou make an end of me. Read verse 14, y'all. Then I want to show you something right quick. Like a crane or a swallow. Okay, so he talks about two things now. He talks about the crane and he talks about the dove. Show that first one, Dan. The crane or the swallow. I want y'all to get into his life. I want y'all to get into his surroundings. He speaks from what he was surrounded by, the crane and the swallow. Read, okay. Hezekiah said, this is the way I feel. I feel sad. I feel lost. That's the dove. So I mourn as a dove. That's the way I feel. Come on, one more time. Okay, now go to the crane. He said, like a crane or a swallow. That was the dove. He said, I did mourn as a dove. Now, like a crane. Let's hear. Okay, that's okay, man. That's okay. That's okay. Yeah. Hezekiah speaks from the surroundings or the or the thing that he was around. Listen, as Christians, we speak from our surroundings. Listen, the Bible must be made to speak to where we are. Must be made to speak to where we are, where we live, what we see, how we feel. This is what he spoke from: the dove, the crane, the swallow. Hezekiah was saying, I feel lost. Then the dove sounds sad. Now we understand Prince, when doves cry. When doves cry. When doves cry. See, you don't understand that song. Now you understand. It sounded like the dove was crying, didn't it? Yeah. Sometimes I feel. Y'all don't want to sing, I know, but you know the song. Yeah, yeah. That's what Prince was talking about. He was saying, I feel sad. I feel lost. I feel when doves cry. And he said, that's the way I feel. That's her boyfriend. That's her boyfriend. That's her boyfriend. Yeah. Okay. He ain't paid damn bill, but that's her boyfriend. Okay. Okay, you ready? Okay, go for the cranes and the swallows. Listen to Hezekiah. He said, this is how I feel. You notice you don't see them. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Dan. Thank you. Yeah, isolated. Isolated. A solitary tone. All by itself. This is what he was saying. He said, I feel alone. I feel all by myself. I feel like my voice is the only one that's out there that's saying anything. I feel left alone. Nobody understand. I'm gonna die, and I feel alone. It's like nobody don't even care. That's what that sound. So these were the times that he was living in, and so he used what